What is that? That's a clip.
Clip.
That's a camera.
Camera.
It's
the phone.
Oh yeah, that's the phone. Are you helping me make my video?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Norma, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you about something a little bit different. Not food, but 10 tips on how to hike with either an infant or a toddler. Let's go ahead and get started. Just do it. And I say this because it took a really long time for me to be able to get out of the house and get over the fear of hiking with this little person. I think we started hiking with our son when he was about 6 months old, but once we started doing it, we were doing it every weekend for over a year. Having him outdoors, you could just see a difference in his attitude. And we love that. Tip number 2, carry snacks and toys that are small enough to be able to carry in a backpack. So when we would hike with him when he was younger, and kind of also now, we always carry some snack that he likes. Food pouches, goldfish, Cheerios, fruit, like blueberries or grapes that he can use like in a little cup and just kind of stick his finger in and just snack with that all the time. We love food pouches because they're just really easy to open up and give to him. Take little toys that you can maybe like attach to like whatever carrier you're using. That way they have access to it, or you have quick access to it. Tip number 3, let them explore. And we kind of learned this the hard way because I think when my husband and I were hiking initially with our son, we were only hiking for ourselves. We wanted to do longer hikes and be able to see these awesome views without thinking that sometimes our son was maybe tired of sitting in the carrier and he just didn't want to do what we were doing on that day. As he got a little bit older, and when he started to walk, we would let him out of the carrier at a certain point, let's say midway point. If we were doing an out and back trail, we would get to, which is usually the midway point, and we would take everything off, like backpacks and stuff, bring him down, let him run around, stretch his legs, look at whatever we were looking at, look at flowers, look at the water, just explore his surroundings so that it would be a better experience for him and he wouldn't dread it. So we had to always take a step back and just look at that. He's also out here with us. We shouldn't only be hiking for ourselves, and it just made the whole experience overall much more pleasant. Tip number 4. This one kind of goes along with my previous tip. Just take it slow. They're infants, they're toddlers. They're not really wanting to do things on your time or on your timeline, and you just really have to be patient with them, because sometimes if they're walking, if you let them hike along with you, which we did quite a lot, they want to stop and look, pick up a rock, look at it, look at a flower, look at the bug, pick up a stick, and it just takes longer hiking this way. Tip number 5, choose the right trail for your toddler and for your family. When we first started hiking, we would choose hikes that were maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 miles, because he was so little, we would be able to hike that much. But as he started to get older, we would hike 3, 4 miles and we would take lots of breaks just because we knew that he was not going to last for 4 miles, or he wasn't going to last for sometimes even 3 or 2. So we would choose the right trail for his stage. And we would never really do anything with high altitudes or anything with a lot of elevation gain. Tip 6. Know your limits and the limits of your toddler or your infant. This kind of goes along with all the other tips that I just gave you. If your kid does not want to hike that long, don't hike that long. If in the middle of the trail your kid has a tantrum, let him get through the tantrum, or she, let her get through the tantrum. If we try to hurry them up, sometimes it makes us stressed and impatient. If hiking becomes stressful, then just stop, take a breather. If you're done hiking for that day, hike back. We would sometimes have to do that, take a break for a while, let him out of the carrier, and know that that hike would just have to be longer, or we would have to cut it short. One of the things that we learned throughout our hiking with him, especially when he was younger, that it was a great idea to hike around his nap times. And what I mean is, sometimes we would start in the morning for our hikes. If we would give him enough time, let's say at midpoint, to get down, run around, and get tired, by the time it was time to go back, he would nap in the carrier. And it would just allow for us to hike even faster back to our car. It was really convenient and it helped out a lot. Tip number 7, use the right carrier for you and your toddler. We didn't start hiking with our son until he was about 6 months old. So by this time, the doctor said that it was okay for us to put him in our hiking carrier because it can sit up on their own. Otherwise, before 6 months, you should have them in a carrier where they're closer to your chest. This carrier, the one that we used, I don't have it with me right now, but I'll post a picture here so that you can see it. It's the Osprey Poco AG, and honestly my husband and I really liked it because it had so much storage. Because we had the right carrier, it made the hiking experience a little bit better for us. But also, there's all of these other brands that are just as good or maybe even better. It all depends on your body type, I think. That's how they measure hiking packs to you, or backpacking packs, and I think hiking carriers for kids are the same. So I would recommend just doing a lot of research and looking at what could fit you or your husband, or either one of you, depending on who's going to carry the child on your hikes. If I'm remembering correctly, some of these carriers can carry a child for up to 40 pounds, I believe, which is great because they're very expensive, and at least you can get really good use out of them for a few years. The next tip is using the right gear for your infant or your toddler. One of the frustrating things for me when we started hiking with our son was that I had a really hard time finding the right clothes, the right shoes, the right socks for him and for certain type of weather. Depending on what the weather is like, you want to have the right clothes for them for that season. Next tip, I would say master diaper changes in the outdoors. One of the things that we do with my son, or my husband does this, is he puts him on his lap, changes his diaper like if he was laying on a diaper mat. We also carry like a padded diaper mat, so if there's like a tree stump or a rock that is flat enough for us to lay him down, that's where we would set him and change the diaper. We would also carry like little doggy bags to put all our stuff in there and throw it out when we got home, or if there were trash cans at the trailhead, because whatever you pack in, you want to pack out. You don't want to leave trash anywhere on the trail. My last tip is to carry your 10 essentials. It's in case of an emergency. So I'm just gonna go over them quickly. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. I will link something in the description box so that you can take a look more in depth of what each of these entail. So navigation, sun protection, illumination, first aid kit, fire like matches, nutrition, hydration, insulation, so like a long jacket, a multi-tool, and an emergency shelter. Those are all the tips that I have for you today. I will be making more videos like this in the future. We are going on a trip in a few weeks to Yellowstone and the Grand Tetons. So I will also be recording that and I will take you guys along on that. So if you're interested in that, come back to my channel and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of those videos, and hit the like button to let me know that you like this content, and leave me a comment below to say hello. And the comments, hello. Comments help me out a lot, so go ahead and share with your friends if you have friends that are thinking about hiking or going camping or going on road trips. I'm sorry. My son, the director. I'll see you here next time. Adios.
These shoes.
Those are your shoes.
These shoes.
Yeah.
And backpack.
That's your backpack.